Hi, thanks for joining me. Welcome. Today we will be doing a happy yoga flow, great for any time of day. So if you want to grab your things and get started, a mat, some comfortable clothes, whatever you'd like, some water too. We'll go ahead and get started. We'll start by walking to the top of our mat. We'll take a big inhale, sweeping those arms overhead. And then exhale, we swan dive down, finding that forward fold. Inhale here, exhale, find that halfway lift, so we want a nice straight back. We want our gaze long over our feet. Inhale here, exhale, forward fold. From here, we're going to plant our hands and hop or step back into that plank. Once we're in our plank, we can lower halfway down, untuck those toes, and press ourselves away from the mat. And then shift our hips up and back as we tuck our toes. Take 2 breaths here, finding some stillness through this downward dog. And then lift that right leg high. Look at your hands and bring it all the way through. We're coming to warrior one. So we have that left foot at a 45-degree angle. It's slightly wider than our hip. We bend into that front right leg and we sweep our arms overhead. Hips are squared forward and we bend into that front knee as we lengthen through our back leg. Take 3 breaths here. And then we forward fold. Plant those hands and step back into that plank. Lower halfway, untuck your toes and press yourself up. Shift those hips up and back, tucking your toes. Inhale here, lift that left leg high. Look at your hands and bring it all the way through warrior one on the other side. And then we fold ourselves forward, plant our hands, step our foot back. Inhale here, lower halfway. Untuck those toes, press up into our upward dog and back into our downward dog. Once we're here, we're going to lift that right leg high. We're going to find 3 knee to noses here. So we're working our abdominals. So we bend that knee and we bring it all the way through our nose. And then we lift it up high. 2 more times. Nose and long behind us. Last time, we bring it to our nose and then we bring it all the way through to that high lunge. So straightening through our back leg, bending through our front knee. We sweep those arms up. Are you with me? 2 more breaths here. And 1 more breath. And then we fold ourselves forward. We step that right leg back. We lower halfway. We press ourselves up and back. Same thing, other side. Left leg comes high. Bend that knee. Bring it to our nose for 3. And for 2. And last one. Knee to nose and bring it all the way through, coming to that high lunge. Sweep those arms up overhead. Find length through that back leg, bending in through that front knee. And then from here, we'll fold ourselves forward, plant our hands. This time, we'll step back into our plank, but press up into that downward dog. Let's take 3 rounds of breath here, turning those triceps towards each other, pressing our chest closer to our thighs, and letting our heels become a bit heavier. We lift that right leg high. We look at our hands and we step it all the way through. We're coming to our pyramid pose. So once that right leg steps forward, that left leg steps forward and both of our feet face the same way. We sweep those arms up overhead. Exhale through heart center. Both of my legs are straight. Both of my feet are forward. I firm up through my quads. I pull my abdominals in. And breathe. Sweep those arms overhead. Big inhale. Exhale, reach behind you, interlace those fingers, draw your knuckles down, and then with a flat back, we hinge forward. Keep those legs as straight as you can. If that means you don't fold yourself forward as much, that's fine. 3 more breaths here. Press those knuckles up to come up nice and tall. Release your fingers. Big inhale, sweep those arms overhead. Exhale, fold yourself forward, plant your hands and step back into your plank. Once you're in your plank, shift back into that downward dog. Hold it here for 3 breaths. Lift that left leg high. Look at your hands, bring it all the way through. Coming to pyramid pose, we step that right leg forward. We firm up our quads, straightening our leg, and bring our arms up overhead. And then exhale them through heart center. And then inhale, bring those arms through heart center, bring them up. And then exhale behind us, interlacing our fingers, drawing our knuckles down, and folding ourselves forward. We press those knuckles up, come up nice and tall, release our fingers. Inhale, reach those arms through center. Exhale, fold yourself forward, plant your hands, and step back into that plank. Lower yourself halfway. We're taking ourselves through a chaturanga here, meeting back in downward dog. Once we're there, we're gonna lift that right leg high. Look at our hands, bring it all the way through. We're coming to that low lunge this time. We drop our knee, untuck our toes, take our hands to the inside of our feet, our front foot. Right hand comes down, left arm comes up. We find a twist away from that front leg. Plant that left arm. Bring that right hand to the outside of your right foot. Step that right knee back. We're on all fours. From here, we tuck our toes and we shift up and back into that downward dog. Lift that left leg high. Look at your hands. Bring it all the way through. Coming to that low lunge again. Drop that back knee. Untuck your toes. Both hands are inside of that front left foot. Left hand comes down. Right arm comes up. And breathe. Bring that right hand down. That left hand comes to the outside of your left foot. We tuck our back right toes and we meet back in downward dog, pressing those hips up and back. Lift that right leg high. Look at your hands. Bring it all the way through. We come to warrior one. Pivot on that back foot. Bend into your front knee and sweep those arms up overhead. Hips are forward. Abdominals are pulled in. Both of my feet are fully on the ground. 3 more breaths here. And fold yourself forward. Plant your hands, step back into that plank, and shift back into that downward dog. Lift that left leg high. Look at your hands, bring it all the way through. Pivot on that back foot. Bend into that front knee as you sweep your arms up overhead. One more breath. And then exhale, forward fold, plant your hands and step back into plank and press back into that downward dog. Go ahead and drop your knees, opening them as wide as your mat. Big toes touch, sit your hips back, walk your hands forward and drop your forehead. Bring your hands by your head, press yourself up to all fours, bring those knees in through center. We're gonna come to our thread the needle. So we lift that left arm high, we dive it through coming onto our left shoulder and our left ear. I'm evenly putting my weight between my left and right knee. My hips are up in the air. That right arm has 2 options. It can stay long on the mat, or it can reach around and grab my opposite hip and I turn my shoulder up towards the ceiling and breathe. Bring that right arm back to the top of the mat if you haven't already. Bring that left arm to meet your right arm. And then walk your hands by your head, pressing yourself all the way up. We'll switch sides. So we reach that right arm high. We dive it through, coming onto that right shoulder. That left arm can reach around, grab that opposite hip, or we can reach it forward, planting that left arm on the ground. Bring that left hand by your head, press yourself up, right hand comes down to the mat. We're gonna come into a calf stretch next. We're gonna bring that left leg long. We're gonna press our heel, trying to reach the wall behind us while we actively press our arms away from the mat. Pull our abdominals in and breathe. And drop that left knee, switch legs. That right leg comes long. We press that heel, trying to reach the wall behind us. Actively press your arms away, pull your abdominals in, and breathe. And drop that knee. We're gonna cross our ankles. We're gonna sit our hips behind our ankles and bring our legs forward. We're gonna come into our wide leg forward fold, yes, but first we'll find that wide leg. So open up your legs as wide as is comfortable for you. This is your practice. So with your legs open wide, flex your feet and sit up nice and tall. Pull those abdominals in and take 3 breaths here. And then we can start to come into a forward fold. Walk those hands forward. Drop your forearms to the mat. Or walk those arms out long and drop your head between your arms. And walk yourself back up. We'll bring our right leg in. We'll bring our right leg in, yes, but we'll keep it long. Our left sole of our foot goes to our right thigh. We're coming into our hamstrings a bit here. So my right hip is in line with my right knee and my right ankle, and my left hip is out to the side, my left leg. Big inhale, sweep those arms overhead. Exhale, reach for those toes. If reaching for your thigh is more comfortable, just reach for your thigh and fold yourself over your leg that way. And sit yourself up nice and tall. We'll switch legs. That left leg comes long in front of us. That right sole of our foot comes to our left thigh. We sit up tall. Inhale, sweep those arms overhead, and then exhale. Fold yourself over your leg. And we grow ourselves tall. Bring both of your legs in front of you. Bend your knees, plant your feet, and slowly lower yourself down to the mat. We'll come to a twist. So we'll take that right leg, cross it over your left. Arms are out to a T. Let those legs fall over to the left side. Your gaze is at your right hand. And breathe. 4 more breaths here. Back through center, uncross your leg. Left leg crosses over right, drop those knees over to the right. Gaze is over the left hand. And back through center, uncross those legs. We're gonna come to happy baby pose. So we bring those knees over our chest and then press our knees up towards the ceiling. You have 2 options, peace fingers to big toes or hands to the outside of your feet. Either way, try to bend your knees. If you can't, that's okay. Just try to find length through your spine, pull your abdominals in. Take a couple moments here in stillness. And then we can start to rock side to side, small rocks if you'd like. You can start to straighten one leg and bend the other as you rock, moving side to side. And then bring the soles of those feet together. Drop those feet on the ground, coming into reclined butterfly. Bring your hands to your belly and focus on your breath here. We'll take 5 rounds of breath here. Take 1 more breath here. And then we can use our hands to bring our knees into center, and we'll make our way to Shavasana. So bring one leg long and then the other. And if you like to keep your hands on your belly and just focus on your breath, Since this is our happy flow, I say, think of a couple happy thoughts that you've either experienced in the past or that you're looking forward to in the future, and focus on those during our Shavasana. And once you've thought of those happy thoughts, take a big inhale, and on your exhale, clear your head of all the thoughts. Focusing on the present, focusing on your breath. You can start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. You can shake your head yes and no. And then bend one leg and then the other, coming onto your side. Taking a moment here in your fetal position. And when you're ready, press yourselves up, making your way to a seated position. Bring your hands to heart center. Take a moment and thank yourself for being here. I thank you for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope it's a happy day. And I will see you soon.